One year, due to terrible storms and heavy rain in Krishnanagar, the crops failed. The royal treasury was completely empty. Yet Nawab Bahadur sent a letter to King Krishnachandra demanding an increase in tax. The king became deeply worried. When he discussed the matter with his courtiers, Gopal suggested that a letter be sent to the Nawab requesting a waiver of the tax. Accordingly, the king sent a letter to the Nawab. Upon reading the letter, the Nawab himself fell into deep thought. What should he do? He sought advice from his minister. The minister said, "Tell King Krishnachandra that if he can send someone who can defeat you in wit, then the tax will be waived. But if that person fails, he must spend the rest of his life in prison." The Nawab liked the idea and sent a reply to the king with that condition. Upon receiving the letter, King Krishnachandra was troubled. Who could he send under such a difficult condition? Then the minister said, "Your Majesty, Gopal is there. Send Gopal." Though secretly the minister thought, if Gopal loses and ends up rotting in jail for life, that wouldn't be so bad. Thinking this, the minister felt quite pleased inside. Finally, the king ordered Gopal to go, and Gopal set out for Murshidabad in a bullock cart. On the way, the cart stopped at one point. Gopal asked, "What happened? Why did you stop the cart?" The driver replied, "I need to let my camel eat some grass." Gopal was surprised and said, "This is a cow. Where's the camel?" The driver laughed and said, "As a child, I used to tell my father I wanted a camel. But my father was poor, so one day on my birthday he brought a calf and said, 'Here's your camel.' I was too young to understand the difference. Since then, this cow has been my camel." Gopal said nothing and continued the journey. When he reached Murshidabad, the Nawab greeted him and said, "Come, Gopal. If you're truly wise, then by tomorrow morning, bring me some camel's milk." Gopal smiled and said, "Of course, your highness. You'll have it by tomorrow morning." The Nawab was surprised and said, "Camels live in the desert. How will you bring camel's milk by tomorrow morning? And make sure it's real camel's milk, nothing else." Once again, Gopal smiled and said, "Yes, your highness. Leave it to me." Suspicious, the Nawab sent a soldier with Gopal to observe him. Gopal went straight to the driver, the same one whose cow was named Camel. He collected the cow's milk from him. The soldier was astonished. The next day, Gopal handed the milk to the Nawab and said, "Here, your highness, camel's milk." When the Nawab questioned him, Gopal explained the entire story. The Nawab was amazed by Gopal's quick wit. He waived the tax and rewarded Gopal handsomely before sending him back to Krishnanagar with joy.